everyone. Welcome to Still a Little Salty, the podcast where we're not afraid to add a little flavor to our faith and a lot of laughter to our lives.
We're your hosts, Christy and Heather, two friends who have seen life's ups, downs, and the salty in-betweens.
We're here to talk about real life, real faith, real friendships, and all the moments that shaped us along the way.
So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Hello.
Hi, everyone. And Christy.
Welcome back.
Episode 3
Of
Still
a Little Salty.
Do we have a title yet? Or we still have to work that one out?
Yeah.
We'll let you know. Stand at attention. Waiting.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Well, we hope that you have enjoyed the last 2.5 episodes.
And that you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
Me too.
Did you?
I had 2 of them. 2 good ones.
My goodness.
I know. Very thankful.
Did you feel stuffed like a turkey afterwards?
Probably more so than that. Like however stuffed is, like slightly more than that.
That's great. Yeah, a lot of and then Hunter's birthday was the day after
nice.
Thanksgiving. And then his birthday party was that Saturday.
Happy birthday, Hunter.
Happy birthday.
The Wednesday was my grandpa's 87th birthday.
Wow.
So my grandma
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
Yeah, my grandma and my grandpa both have November birthdays, and they were married on Thanksgiving Day, which was that year was like the 27th or something. I don't know what it was, but one year, like his birthday and Thanksgiving and their anniversary all lined up on the same day.
That's awesome.
It was great, and I made a fancy cake.
Did you?
This year I did not. I made nothing.
My grandma's birthday is also in November. It's the 22nd. She's gonna kick my butt.
Turning 25, right?
80.
Well, she don't look anywhere near 80 years old.
No, we went and saw Wicked.
Oh, did you?
Yes. I'm a huge Wizard of Oz.
I like the Wizard of Oz.
That's Wizard of Oz. I have a Wizard of Oz Dorothy porcelain doll. I have a Monopoly game. I have a signed photo of the Munchkins. I just love it. So, and I've seen Wicked in play.
Yeah, I've never seen any of it. I'm not sure that I will. It's just not my. I don't know. I have this like weird desire. Like I don't want to. There's just something tells me I'm not gonna like it. So.
Well, if you're not into musicals.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm not. I don't know.
It's. I don't want to like ruin it for people that
Spoiler
are into
alert.
The storyline behind it, like I like it because, you know, the Wicked Witch is not wicked at all.
Yeah.
And
I think I would like the regular musical version more than the movie version.
I thought the same.
I just don't know that I like the people in the movie.
I thought the same. No, truly. And I'm not going to, because I know this is a public podcast. So I'm not that she's ever going to see it. But I'm not a huge fan either of one of the main characters. But she actually did do a really good job. Yeah. I'm not a huge follower of her.
Is it appropriate for children to watch?
The first one I would say is. The second one, there's like a love scene, but it's like they show them kissing and stuff, but like
ew,
oh cooties,
gross.
But
sick.
I don't really know how to answer that.
I can't imagine that my 8 and 10-year-old boy have any desire to watch Wicked, but
probably not.
Probably not. Right now we only watch people fart on YouTube, so. And The Simpsons.
I'll have to make a blooper for sure then for them. They will be very appreciative.
A YouTube blooper reel.
Oh.
I miss those back in the day. Always bloopers at the end of a movie or a show. I loved those.
So Adam was talking about that too, like about our podcast, because I was like, I really want to start doing bloopers. I don't think we'll have enough like right now for like every episode to do a blooper.
Fake bloopers. We want real bloopers.
But I would like to do that because I've actually never watched a podcast where they do have bloopers.
Oh.
So
throwback to the 90s.
Yes.
2000s.
90s babies unite. But to circle us back for today. So, 2.5 episodes in, episode 3, first was introductions and our divine paths and parallel, what was it?
Divine timing.
Yes. And parallel paths.
Parallel paths. That's a real fancy title we came up with.
It was awesome. And then second episode talking about what does being the salt mean to us. And we never got to throw in like salty moments, but I think that's just as we talk every time we would have those. And then 2.5 was a surprise Thanksgiving episode talking about grateful. But to get back on to like true full episode today, discussing our path to faith, what faith means to us, and essentially how it is to be a woman or man of faith in today's society.
Yeah, especially how it relates to our lives.
Yeah.
Because, we can't really say what it's like to be a 60-year-old woman of the faith right now, or what it's like to be a 25-year-old guy.
Right.
Like we really only have our own perspective. And I think we'll find that yours and my experiences are still pretty different.
Yeah.
When it comes to this.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this.
I am too, especially because, when we thought about Still a Little Salty and what messages we wanted to have within this, because obviously it's like a moment for us to chat too and just kind of reminisce, talk about day-to-day life, funny things, not so funny things. We still wanted to have a faith-driven side of it. So diving into this would be a good place to start in the beginning. So I think you should actually start first on how faith found you.
Oh, well, it's kind of blurry. It's not been, there's not one particular defining moment that I can say, like, on this day, I became a Christian.
Right.
And that's not, I don't think, uncommon. I think when I was, just my friend Jennifer and my friend Emily went to the church that I go to now, and we, like, their whole lives, baptized, everything there. And when we were in, I don't know, 5th grade, 4th grade, they invited me to church. My family didn't go to church at all. So they invited me to church. I went, and then I just kept going. Started going with them. My mom would take me and drop me off. I would ride with them. I would go to Sunday school. And then that was just as a kid, you could, and then the church was really big at that time comparatively, like it's pretty small now. And we had a big youth group. We had a junior high and a senior high youth group. There was a bunch of us. We met every week on Wednesdays, I think, and hung out and did stuff and went on trips together.
And what is this church called?
The Doylestown United Methodist Church.
Awesome.
Now, don't come at me in the comments. I know there's a lot of him-haw. Oh no.
Because it's a denomination?
About Methodists in general. That's a whole can of worms that I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
At the moment.
All right. Look, I'm new into it, so I'm not even.
So yeah, I'm
innocent.
I don't want to comment on it because I don't know, particularly where my church was standing during the Great Divide and what that really was, because that was a period in my life when I was not actively pursuing my faith.
Okay.
So anyways, we had a really great youth program. I spent tons of time with my friends who were also going to church, and that was, I'd say, the foundation of all of my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a kid and you're surrounded by it, you go to these amazing youth events, and there's music and there's crying and Jesus. It's just really emotional. But you're waiting, at least I was waiting for some like big sign, wondrous occurrence that would say my body and my brain would just be like, boom, I'm saved. This is it. I know it's real. I know it's true. There's no doubt. This is it. I found it. And I just waited and waited and waited. And I never really felt like that happened. And I think that's just my immature child brain thinking that's what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And not saying it doesn't. It just didn't happen to me.
Right.
You know, like I didn't have a big quote unquote come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
It was always like, okay, yeah, I go to church. I believe in Jesus. I read the Bible. I'm like all up in the youth group. I was the president of the youth group. I'm all over it.
You would be.
Right? I was the president of everything for at least 5 minutes. And so I think that I didn't really set myself up well for my early adulthood, because as soon as I left the bubble of the church, I was like,
you had culture shock?
Yeah, I wasn't sheltered or anything like that, but I went away to college and I was surrounded by people who were actively anti-Christian.
Okay.
Or pro-atheism.
Okay.
So then I'm like, well, I'm all by myself. I moved thousands of miles away from my family and I have nobody. And now all the people that I'm meeting make fun of Christians.
I didn't realize it was like that.
So how am I going to say, hi, my name is Heather and I love Jesus. Will you be my friend? Even though that's probably what I should have done, because I guarantee there were people there.
Right.
There were, but I just got, and I would never say that I ever thought I was an atheist by any means. Never did I ever stop believing that there's something. But the doubt and the fear of being judged overshadowed everything for a long time. And you run into this thing too where, you know, I was in youth group and I was good. I got great grades. I didn't drink in high school. I didn't do things that were bad. And then I go out to college and I'm like literally alone and I can just do whatever terrible choice I want. And I say, heck yeah, I'm coming to your party. Heck yeah, I'll do a beer bong. Sure, I'll take my shirt off.
Das Boot.
Whatever. You know, and you don't get, I let those things overtake me because I was young and I wanted to fit in and I wanted to, I'm going to make sure this is still recording. It beeped. And we're back after that. So, yeah, it was easy to feel ashamed. I felt ashamed, I think, of the things I was doing. So to offset that, I just ignored it. I ignored the feeling I had inside telling me I was doing wrong. You know, I would just ignore it. And that went a long time until I came home, and I think I went to church for a couple years.
You did, because when I met you, you introduced me to Emma.
Oh, that's right. We went on a mission trip.
Yeah.
Megan. And a couple others. There was a lot of people.
Yeah. And that was my first mission trip ever to Kentucky.
Yep. We did Appalachian Service Project.
It was awesome.
I really would
loved
like to go again.
I would too, actually.
It's just hard to take a week off work. It's always a bunch of teenagers and retired guys.
Yeah.
It's us in the middle that have a hard time going. But, so it's just been a kind of an up and down situation. And then after Brent and I were married and we started, we both said we want our children to at least know about God and about church, what it means to be a Christian. But at that time, we weren't active in any church and had never been active in any church. And so we went to a couple different churches, big churches with smoke machines and guitars, and other churches. We went back to the Methodist church. We went to a couple Baptist churches, and we didn't have any issues with them. It was just, I don't know. It just didn't feel.
You didn't feel the pull?
Well, and we would go, and then we wouldn't go for like 4 weeks, or a month or 2 months, and then we'd go, and then we would just take a break. So it just never felt committed. And then when my mom died, it that profoundly affected me, and my desire to like make sure. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Um, to make sure that I got to heaven to see her.
Yeah.
So
this episode's great because the distractions, but we're staying strong.
Go.
So to share my portion of it on the first aspect of this episode, I was technically raised Catholic. We attended Catholic Mass on, actually, I'm finding that this is quite unique. We went Saturday evenings. We would do, we would go to the Catholic Church, mostly in Florida, is what I remember. Attend Mass, and then have dinner. My grandma, my sister, and I would go out to dinner. My great grandma, if she went with us. But my sister and I were never baptized. And from what I remember of my mom's conversation with us about it, she wanted us to make that decision on our own when we were ready.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. My children have not been baptized yet.
Well, I felt so and nothing against anyone who's watching this that practice Catholicism, nothing. For me personally, I would say I was hurt by the Catholic Church, because when I attended, I felt shame around it, even as a child. Because, when you would go up to get the communion or whatever, the body and the blood of Christ, my sister and I had to stay in the pew because we weren't baptized per the Catholic Church. We couldn't have it. So every time we sat there, people would walk by and they would like look at us. And then there was a few times that my grandma did talk my mom into going, because at this point, when we were actively going to the Catholic Church every Saturday evening, my mom was pretty heavy into her addiction. And so my sister and I were with my grandma. And there was a few times that I remember my grandma talked my mom into going, and she would always joke, like, the church is going to get struck by lightning and burned down if I walk in. Like, so many people I know will say.
I've heard that joke plenty.
Yeah. But for my mom, I feel like she kind of felt like it was real. And I think it more so came from a place of shame because of her choices, her addiction, her tattoos. Every time she would go in, she would get stares every time. And so, not to dwell on that, but I saw that and I noticed it. And so that kept me away from the church as I got older, and as life evolved and, chaos happened and trauma happened, I looked to things outside of church versus like faith and Jesus and God. And so, I mean, I would say around the time I turned 18, I just stopped altogether. And I battled with Jesus and who Jesus was. I wasn't sure if I believed in Jesus. I always believed in God or a greater power, because I don't believe in just straight up evolution and the Big Bang. Like, I don't believe that. I believe there's more to life after this. I believe that there's a heaven. I've had way too many signs and miracles happen not to believe that there's supernatural outside of what is happening today. But I battled with Jesus and, the Son of God and the Son of Man, and he died and rose again. And like, I think part of it too was I didn't fully understand it, because I don't feel like when I went to church, and maybe it was because I was young and I didn't comprehend it because we didn't go to like Bible school or Bible study, but I never understood the message. And I always felt like the priests would kind of talk in circles. And so to me, it was always like a fairy tale or a fable or something. Like, no way, no way.
They're and more so like a story to learn from than actual fact.
Yeah. And so, I went years. I would go occasionally with people. Like, I went with you on the mission trip. so I dipped my toes in, I would dip my toes in, but I would almost panic anytime I'd come across a friend that was strong in their faith, and they would sometimes almost feel like pushing that message. And I would say, thank you that you were never that friend for me. And I'm not putting shame on any of my friends that have done that, because now where I'm at with it, like, I understand why, but I was not there. I was not there. And all it did was like frustrate me, shame. I internally felt shame. And so fast forward to September of this year was my big bang moment. I did actually have that moment. And I'm forever grateful that I got to experience how I did, because so what happened, Charlie Kirk obviously got shot, right? And again, like, side note, I don't want to argue with people about Charlie Kirk. I was not an avid follower of Charlie Kirk. Like, I didn't know really anything about him. Nothing. But Landon came down into the kitchen and said, I can't believe this. Charlie Kirk was like shot on like essentially live TV kind of. And I was like, I saw like he was kind of distraught about it. And I was like, I wanted to seek and see who this guy was. And so I went on YouTube and Instagram, and I came across the video of him getting shot. And the feeling I had, and I've seen other videos, and obviously 9/11, we were born, and 12.
We watched the people fall.
Yeah, like, we've seen it. Unfortunately, we've seen videos of people's lives ending, but not to that extent. I never had.
Yeah, that was rough.
And so when I saw that, something in me just kind of like, it just didn't feel right. And so I started talking to Landon more about it and understanding a little bit more who Charlie Kirk was. And what I started to gather was that he was a man of faith as well, as along with other things, very political. Like, I get that, but he was a man of faith. And so I started watching his faith videos, and I was like, how does this happen? He was so, at 31 years old, he believed so strongly. And I'm watching and watching and watching. And so I start texting you and stuff. And I started feeling things inside. And I was like, something's going on. And like, just a weird feeling. And so that was September 11th or 10th.
10th, I think.
Shot, right? And so I went up to Landon's room that evening, and it just came out of my mouth. I just was like, I need to go to church on Sunday. I want to find a church. And he said, all right, let's do it. Because not my story to tell, but Landon had been in his walk with faith for 2 years now. Like, and Matt and I never pushed or told him what he needed to think or feel, nothing like that, right? So anyways, we start looking online. Well, I did, at like different churches. I wanted something non-denominational. And so I stumbled upon the Refuge. And I was like, all right, we're going to go this Sunday. It's non-denominational, but I confirmed on their website and stuff that they read from the Bible. They believe in Jesus Christ, because that was important to me. And then that next morning when I woke up, and literally when my feet hit the ground, I knew that I believed in him. I knew with every...
Before or after you went to your first church service?
No, this was the next day after Charlie died. So September 11th was the day I woke up, and I felt this immense sense of peace, and I didn't feel as much anger and rage as I had, and especially in the last 5 years. I just felt this sense of like lightness and like happy, and I would just cry. I would just start randomly crying, and that's when I said out loud, like, I believe in Jesus. And then I called you, and I was like, I believe.
How do I do this?
Yeah, what do I do? So first aspect of this is
fast enough.
I know.
I couldn't keep up.
So that's how faith found me at 36 years old. And I guess this is my testimony
Mm-hmm.
out loud to people. Like, I felt it. I felt it. I can't explain it, but I felt like he is the Son of Man, the Son of God. He did die for our sins. It's not a story. It's not a fable. It's real. Like, his life meant something. And he died on that cross for all of us. And I just knew. I was like, I gotta learn more, and I gotta read more, and I gotta do more. And I want to be a better person for myself, for my husband, for my son, for my friends, for my family. I just want to be better and do better and spread it like the mustard seed. And I keep
Flavor
saying,
of the earth.
yes, salt, be the salt of the earth. But I kept saying, and I know many people have said it, and again, I don't want to get into an argument about Charlie Kirk, but whoever took that light out ignited a firestorm of other lights. I do believe that. And so,
yeah, if you take out the political part and the conspiracy theories and all the craziness surrounding it, and just go based on the fact that Charlie Kirk was a man of God, and he had faith stronger than I've seen in a lot of people. Now, obviously, we only see the recorded side of Charlie Kirk's life. We have no idea what he, nobody knows what other than him.
Yeah.
His true relationship with Christ. But I feel inspired by just seeing that happen to you and seeing it happen to other people,
because it did.
and I think our generation here is, we're millennials, I guess.
Yeah.
We are underrepresented in church because we grew up in, I think, doing what I describe, like feeling embarrassed by what Christians had done in the past, and that's really loaded. I'm not saying that Christians were always bad. That's
right.
not at all what I'm saying, but it just feels, there was a time in my life when I felt embarrassed to say that I believed in God.
And I believe that because there was a time where I was embarrassed to say I didn't even understand the story of it all. I understood like God created heaven and earth, and on the first day let there be light. I understand that, but I didn't understand all of it. And I was surrounded mostly by people that also thought it was a joke.
Yeah. I think hearing that from you makes me understand a little bit more. I think because I grew up understanding it, but not, a lot of Christians they went to church their whole lives, and they've heard the story a million times. I don't think it occurs to people that there are lots and lots of people who don't know the story, and like, you think to yourself, how could you know the story and just say meh?
Right.
But I realize that they don't know the story, or they've got the wrong story or the wrong understanding. Like, I was having a conversation, this was years ago, a couple friend of ours, and there was the four of us sitting around like a bonfire in the backyard, and they were and have always been, they're politically opposite of us, and they are not Christians, but they are friends. They're good friends. I see them all the time. And well, they're no longer married, but I see them, they're still really good friends. And none of those things have changed. They're still opposite political spectrum and not Christians, but I still love them. And we sat around a bonfire, and they asked, it was like the first time I'd ever really said out loud in front of my husband, in front of my friends, yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I believe in the Bible. And I think it surprised them as much as it surprised me, because even on my political stances, I don't say them out loud
Mm-hmm.
to anybody. I think most people who know me probably know how
You and I
feel
talk about
things.
it, but yeah.
Like most of my acquaintances, most people probably know. But I don't talk about it because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Whether I should or not, I guess is up for debate.
Yeah.
But right now I don't want to, so I
Right.
don't. And I think they were surprised to hear it from me because it's always been a secret. I guess a secret, my faith. And I told, like, they asked me questions about the Bible, and I made me realize that they didn't understand what the gospel was, what the New Testament was, what any of it was. And even going back and thinking about it before I really read it, I think people assume the Bible is full of only parables, or which are like the stories that Jesus told,
Mm-hmm.
or only the proverbs and psalms and things that are abstract and can be interpreted. Like, yes, there's plenty of parts of the Bible that I suppose you could interpret,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of it that is literal. It's like literal historical eyewitness accounts of the life of Jesus and letters that were written to people and historical records of things, lineages, like, you know, son of so and so and so and so and this and that and that. It's not just a huge, thick 66 book long story that's abstract and everybody can. I think people think, oh, you can just interpret that Bible however you want because it's so abstract.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not.
Yeah.
Not even, like, most of it is not abstract. It is very clear what it says.
Well, and I'm only into, so I haven't even started any of the Old Testament. I'll peek at like Psalms. But I've read Mark, Luke. I'm reading Matthew now. Colossians, I did read. Am I forgetting one?
John.
But John. Yeah, the book of John. So, and you're right. Like, when I started reading them, I'm like, this is not at all what I thought for 36 years.
Yeah. You don't realize it's four of the same story, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But different people telling it.
Yes.
And one of the things that, and I'm not an apologist. What do they call it? An apologist? Those are the people that, like, they dedicate their time and life to, like, proving, like, Christian apologists, I think is what it's called. And I like to read it. And, like, Lee Strobel is a famous, I think it's apologist. I feel like I don't know. Correct me in the comments. That's gonna be my tagline. Correct me in the comments. But, you know, one of the things that I think about, I've heard many times, is that all of the apostles, all of them, were heinously murdered in one way or another after years of spreading the gospel.
Yeah.
And they lived there in fear of being murdered for decades, but still told the same story.
Yeah.
If that were made up or fake, why would you be like, yeah, Jesus is dead now. I'm going to stop lying so I don't get murdered.
Right.
You know, like, if you're not lying and you truly believed that Jesus is God and he resurrected, and you knew for a fact,
right,
and you're like, I'm not afraid to die because I already know that it's okay. I'm going to be in heaven. I'm saved by Jesus. I watched him die and I saw his resurrected form. Like, of course they're not afraid to die.
Right.
Who would be? But if they were unsure or they were making it up, I'd love to just run for my life for 50 years and be beheaded.
Right.
You know, like, no. So that's what I think about when people are like, oh, they just, you know, it's just a story. Somebody wrote it. They could have made it up. I'm like, why?
Right.
Why would they make it up? And why would it be still read 2,000 years later?
The only thing that I have battled with was some of the different, like, the changes in the words, but I guess it makes sense as time has evolved, our vocabulary has evolved, and words,
we're speaking a different language.
Yeah. Well, it is a completely different language than the original, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were writing in Aramaic and Greek and whatever, and every language is difficult to translate in between. Even between Spanish and English.
Right.
There's words that don't quite make sense, or you have to change the way you say it in English because that's not how you would say it in Spanish,
right.
Or whatever. So like, and these are ancient languages. We're doing our best, and sometimes there's a word that in Greek means two different things, just like in English.
Oh.
Bear, bear, bear,
Yeah.
All three different, all three the same.
Right.
So it's hard to, that's why I don't get caught up in the translation as much as other people do. I do think that sometimes I'm like, okay, you don't need to make it sound like street slang.
Right.
Like make it read like normal English, I guess.
Right.
But it's very, I like to think that genuinely most of the world is good. So in my heart, I'm like, I don't think that these people that have dedicated their lives to translating the Bible decided to do it maliciously.
Right.
And translate it wrong on purpose. Like,
yeah.
Why? That's my thing. It's like everybody's got a reason for something. And I'm like, if the answer to my question of why is because they're crappy, evil people, I just choose to think that most people aren't crappy and evil.
Yeah.
Not like there definitely are, but I just don't. I feel like most people have the greater good in mind.
I agree. Yeah, it's intimidating, and there's times at Bible study where we'll read a few chapters and I'm sitting there scratching my head like,
what did I just read?
I gotta go back and reread that. And it is interesting to sit around a table with people and like we're not all interpreting it however we want, but the way that we read it and the way that we are absorbing the information is different yet the same.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do that, but all that to say, the Bible, for anyone who's watching this and is like, oh, that's, unique ways that both of you found your path into faith. I'm kind of there too, but I don't know where to start. I think we said this in another episode. Start in the New Testament.
Yeah, don't start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't do
start
it.
At the New Testament.
You can read it if you want, but don't start there.
Yeah.
If you're brand new.
But so we understand how we got to faith and how it found us. But one of the bullet points that I wrote down was, what does it now mean to us? What does our faith mean to us now? So I can start. My belly just made a noise. Did you hear it?
I did.
Nice. You guys will too. It was not a fart though, FYI.
Not yet. Wait for episode
But it's
4.
grumbling in my tummy. So what it means to me today, I feel like it is a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I feel like every day could be a little different.
It is a little different. So my goodness, the first 2 weeks of accepting Jesus, I got baptized. I found a church. I read
She went ham.
She went
ham on that Christianity.
Oh, did I?
She texted me and said, I want to get baptized. I said, that's great. You don't have to do that right away.
You did say that. I was like,
when you're ready and you find a place and you feel like you're solid to do it. She's like, no, I'm getting dunked in 3 days. I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
So to talk about, how that happened though, was the first day that we went to church was, I want to say it was the 16th or something is when we went to church. And the first time I ever stepped foot in the refuge, I'm looking at all these people and I'm like, all I could think was my mom would be accepted here. And that to me was beautiful. That was beautiful. People with tattoos, people dressed nice, people dressed normal, people dressed really casual. The pastor in normal clothes. Everyone's coming up and introducing themselves to Landon and I. Even Landon was like, I have never experienced this before. And I was like, I definitely have not experienced this. So anyways, we walk in and we sit up front our first time. I'm like, I'm doing this. If I'm doing it, I'm committing. I'm sitting in the front.
Pew location doesn't always really mean anything.
No, but most people were not in the front.
I'm a front rower.
Well, so we sit there
crazy.
and we're listening to the music and I just start crying. I start crying.
Music is powerful.
Yes. They were already 5 weeks into the book of Job, not Job. And the message of that day was, more so accepting Jesus and, believing in Jesus. And so anyways, the service is going on and Pastor Bill is passionate. And I'm like, man, this pastor is awesome. And I understand what he's saying. Like, this is all making sense. And he has no idea I'm freshly a Jesus lover. Like, he has no idea. So
I think he probably could tell.
Probably because he kept looking at Landon and I'm like crying. Like the tears are just falling. So service ends and he always talks about like, the schedule of what's coming up. And he goes, next week is going to be a little different than, most services because we're having a baptism. As soon as I heard that, I was like, ding, ding, ding. Like something, it was like,
I'm jumping in that.
Do it. Something in my head kept saying, do it. And he hadn't even said yet, anyone is welcome. So he said, though, he goes, if anyone in here would like to discuss getting baptized, please come up to me. Well, I practically ran and I just started sobbing. And I told him that I recently accepted Jesus Christ into my life. I want to, essentially like repent for, I want to be saved. I want all of it and some. And he shared some stuff with me and I knew in that moment, like he was the right pastor for this part of my life. And Landon's like smiling and just getting really excited. And so then, that next Sunday, I got baptized with 3 other people, one of which is Jonathan. He went last and he has become a good friend of mine. He's active in the church now too, and a tattoo artist, Jonesy the tattoo artist.
Shout out.
But that's that. But yes, before I even knew that I was going to get baptized, I was asking you like, do I get baptized? Like, what do I do? And you're like, look, let's pace yourself. Let's start here. You can do it at any time. And then when they said it, I'm like, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it now.
Oh, I'm doing it. So, all that to say, what does it mean to me now? It means everything to me to read the Bible. I will be honest, I love me some Post Malone, but I really can't even listen to his music now. Not right now. One, because I'm still so new into this that the more if I start listening to something that has like a lot of cuss words or it's heavy or deep, I can feel it. I can feel it start to try and creep its way into me. And Dave from church said the perfect thing to me, like soon after I found Jesus and was accepted and saved and all that. But anyways, he said, the closer you get to Jesus, the louder the devil gets. And I can feel that still right now. I have days where I'm like, why do I feel just so blah? So what I do is I will play a Christian song. I will open up my Bible. I will journal. I will talk to God and Jesus in my head and pray and go to the church if there's an event happening and continue to seek him, talk about him, read about him, learn, because knowing him now and having something like this and talking to you and what it has done for my marriage and my relationship with Landon, and just how different I feel now versus who I was before. I don't want to go, first of all, I don't want to go back to that person. I do not want to feel, and I know I'm going to have heavy moments.
Sure.
I know that there's going to be more loss in my life and sadness, and
being a Christian does not erase
no,
that.
But what I will say and what I do know, especially because, like, for instance, I recently found out a member of our church has stage 4 cancer. Back in the day, if I would have heard that, I would have immediately panicked. Just, it would have done real. I would have panicked. Now I'm sad, but I know what's after this. I believe it with all of me. So I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
And so all that to say that this new aspect of my life is not going anywhere. It's okay if I lose people because of it, because I think that they'll find me again at some point and be in the same situation and feelings that I'm in now. But I don't want to go back to who I was before. I don't want to walk away from Jesus. I don't want to walk away from his word. I don't want to leave the church now. I want to continue to surround myself with people who also feel similar to what I feel. So what faith means to me now is, it means everything and more. And it feels really good. It feels just really, really good. And I know that when I walk out of my house every day, I'm also exposing myself to the potential of judgment, and I don't care anymore. I'm not afraid. I don't care. Judge me all you want. I walk around happily with my faith shirts, and I wear my cross, and I listen to my Christian music with my windows down. I don't care. I do not care. Judge me all you want. I'm still me. I'm still funny. But I also just want to be a little bit better each day.
Yeah.
And so.
That was amazing. I'm really happy to hear all that.
Thank you.
It's funny. We're in very different places in our life. I think, but saying that, I feel like watching you have fire is inspiring to me. Because I do feel stale sometimes. Lukewarm, plenty of times. I go, you forget about it when it's been part of your life for 30 years. It doesn't always feel exciting. But when I start to get into it and I think about it, I'm like, I do want this. I want to feel fire. I want to feel music makes me cry. Christian songs fire me up, or they make me cry if they're beautiful. And I think that having you is inspiring me to increase my outward faith, because I think that I've never shown it until, it's been a couple years, and that I've started to expose it. And I'm not afraid as much anymore to say stuff in front of my friends, but I'm not there yet. I'm gonna pray for you, even though I should, mm-hmm. And now you all know. Everybody knows now that Heather's a Christian, which is great. I want people to know. I want people to feel like they can ask me mm-hmm. about it, because while you're learning and growing and experiencing things for the first time, I feel like the way my gospel or my evangelism or my testimony is, I am probably long-winded and I explain too much, but I'm like an explainer. So like, come and ask me. And yeah, and I like it. I enjoy it. I want to help you understand. I'm not going to judge you if you walk away after our conversation and say you're retarded. I'm never talking to you again. Oops. And I want you to ask me if you've known me or you just met me and you want to know, like, why are you a Christian? I might not have like an amazing and inspiring story but I'll tell you what it means to me.
Yeah, but
and I'll answer a question if you have that, if I can.
Right.
Or I'll say, I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's Google it.
Yeah.
Let's something.
Well, when you said, like, if they come up to you and ask you why you're a Christian, I also want to say that my experience still doesn't really explain why I believe.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just not an answer.
No.
You just do. You feel it.
Well, and to be basic about it, why would you actively fight against the idea of an afterlife? What is so bad about hoping that there's more?
Right.
I would much rather be reunited in heaven with the Lord and my mom and my baby and everybody that I love, and or just be worm dirt, like, and if that's true, if it's really nothing afterward, I will never know.
Right.
We'll be dead.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. So why would you I would rather be wrong about there being a God than be wrong about there not being a God.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, and I'm not talking fire and brimstone and afraid of the devil. And I mean, that's a whole thing too. I certainly am afraid of the devil, but I'm not really, because I got God on my side and he's going to win.
Right.
But I don't know why people actively fight against it. I have theories, and one of them, I think the most realistic answer is that they're afraid of what it means for their lifestyle. In many different ways, whether you are a drinker or you do drugs or you do sexually immoral things or you're just not living a biblical Christian life. You are afraid, like, if I become a Christian, I can't swear anymore. I can't drink anymore. I can't go out and have fun. I can't do this. I can't sleep around. I'm not living the right life. I don't want to change. I like it. I'm having fun.
Yes.
So that's great for now. What are you going to do when you're dead?
Well, not only when you're dead, but like how
70.
lonely is that going to be when you're older? Like,
right.
Well, at the end of the day, I personally feel fuller and richer now than I did before I accepted Jesus into my life.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it matters, but like literally right before, I make good money. I also financially am not the smartest, and I'm working on that. But I drove around in a 2020 fully loaded 4Runner, and I got fancy stuff. And I got nice jewelry and big diamonds, and I got all this. Well, guess what? Now I sold my 4Runner shortly after I accepted Jesus. One, because I felt like I needed to. Like, it relieved more financial burden off of my family and I. And two, I just didn't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
I just was like, and no shame on anyone, but like, one, it was not paid off. So I was like driving around on this like glamorous thing, and I'm like, what is this serving me? Like, it's serving me nothing. But, and I'm not telling people to do what I do, but all I know is that I continue to get rid of things and give things away and sell things because for me personally, it weighs me down more now than it ever did. And I think now looking back, like, it actually did weigh me down, but I wasn't willing to accept that it was weighing me down. So.
Well, the Bible calls Christians to be separate from the world. And that is the hardest part about being a Christian, is not listening to Post Malone because everybody loves it. Not going to a party because all your friends are going and there's alcohol or booze or drugs or whatever. And it's being apart from the world is not believing things that other people do, about whatever. That is the hardest thing, to feel like a quote unquote outcast when the world around you is moving fast and in a way that you don't agree with.
Right. And I guess if I look at it, not that I feel like, I have almost 800 people that follow me on Facebook, and I've lived in 4 different states, and I know people from all walks of life. So not that I ever felt like an outcast from that aspect, but from what my life has been like, I kind of have also felt like an outcast. Like, my childhood is drastically different from most of my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that woe is me or pity me, but like my childhood looked way different. My career has looked different from a lot of people that I know. And motherhood has looked drastically different from most people that I know. So what's one more thing? Oh, well, I don't care.
I was just more different.
Yeah, like,
well,
all right. But I'm learning that I'm not that much different. Once you start opening up to it, I mean, you know, and you've seen it, like, think about the last 20 years of our friendship and how richer it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've had some beautiful moments.
Yeah.
We've shared some, obviously, very dark times together, happy times. Like, we've gone through a lot together, but like, I see you more now than I did before. And I know it's because of the podcast too, but like, we talk to each other a lot more. Like, it brings something out of people when you believe. And
yeah. And you know, people make fun because it's always brother so-and-so or sister, you know, like they use the term brother and sister.
In Christ,
but
right?
It feels that way.
It is a brotherhood and a sisterhood.
When, if you're going to be literal about it, if God's our father, that means you're my sister, you know?
Which is kind of weird because then my husband... Oh.
But, you know, it's so deep and so, there's so many windy paths you can go down. But to me, faith, like how faith affects my life is different than what my brain tells me what faith means. Like the way faith is affecting my life is actively changing right now in my, like
Explain.
I'm actively trying to be more outward and more evangelical. I don't know. And just, you know, like talk about it more and let people see me more. But what I think it, like deep in my heart, like what it means is safety for me and my family and the anxiety that I am racked with constantly. It feels better. I mean, I'm medicated, but it feels better knowing that I've gone through my biggest fear already. And I know I'll have to do it again and again and again. And I'm here. I'm okay. I'm not like a puddle on the floor. You know, I survived. And I think that having faith in my heart is keeping me going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it helps me stay afloat.
Yeah.
And because I have always been the person, I'm like very outwardly happy. Always. Yes. I'm always telling a joke or making somebody else laugh. I like, to my own detriment, I will make sure everybody else is feeling better. And so the one thing that I have that makes me feel, but not the one thing, that sounds crappy. I have a wonderful family and friends and my husband, but the thing that I use to keep myself happy is the knowledge of Christ in my heart. So it keeps me going. So to me, it's more of a lifeline than anything else.
And that's beautiful, though.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. You know, it sounds a little crazy, maybe. I don't know.
To some it might, but
I just want all of the people that I know and love to get it. I think people see me as like analytical and scientific, and
which is true to
you know,
like
I'm always like, I've got facts for days. I got smarts, but not, you know, I'm not particularly a genius. I just remember like everything, and that's not always that great. It's really kind of annoying, but I remember like everything. And so people, I'm always have a reply. I always have an explanation. So I'm like, people, you know, I'm an explainer. Come, let me explain. Gather round. Let me explain Jesus to you.
Let me salt you.
Let me sprinkle the salt upon your head. You know, I just want people to I want to be a resource. I want people to say, Heather, what does this mean?
And I want that for you too, which I mean, selfishly is also why I was happy that we agreed to this, because you have been a good resource and teacher for me. And I do think that someone out there is going to find this video and receive this in the way that we're hoping. And I am so excited that they have, like, in my opinion, one of the strongest Jesus warriors that I know that is going to be able to help them. And then
so cool. I think you're way more warrior-esque than me right now. You are on fire.
Well, I am like
she's got 2 swords. I got a bow and arrow. I'm shooting from far away.
No. I mean, maybe so, yes, but I think, well, I'm more so like cha cha cha. I got you. I got you. Come here. And then they get behind and they're going back to, you know, the sergeant.
Oh yeah, like we're walking down and you're like chucking them down the hallway towards me, and I'm gathering them all up. You're just snatching them.
Yeah, because I'm in no place to sit here and even attempt to explain things in the Bible, because I'm still so new into it. Like, I can explain how to navigate it,
sure,
and what to look for, and I can discuss the books I've read so far, but I'm still absorbing the information, and I'm a very confident person, but when it comes to trying to explain the Bible, I'm not that person. I can explain to you how you can get there.
Yeah.
But it's up to you on if you do it or not. I can't force you. Yeah. That's the same, like we talked about the other episode. I want to correct myself. When we talked about, you know, someone has to want it in order to receive it. Like, I can't make someone do something until they're willing and able to do it themselves. And that's the same, like I was trying to say with addiction, but I explained it way wrong. You can't help someone until they're willing to help themselves.
Or at least willing to genuinely accept help.
Yes, because, and I've seen it already. So like that was a third point to this. How has it impacted us since committing? I have already seen in the 3 short months those that aren't truly willing to fully commit yet. I've seen it, and I'm not going to call them out. It's not my job, but it's not in my home. But I have seen people that say they want it and say they want to understand it, but they haven't committed. Like,
and it's not a fast process for everybody.
No.
Took me 30 years.
Yeah, but you've stayed the course. Even if you've like ventured off on like a side road to sightsee for a moment, you've always at least still believed. Like, you haven't stopped believing. No. You just I
just closed my eyes.
Yes. You had your blinders on for a moment. So how it's impacted me now though is like, I am a fixer. So when I see someone that's like weaving in and out, I like want to pull them in and like stay the course, but I can't. I know that I can't. And I've learned this for 36 years with my mom and her walk with addiction. Yeah. And now she's succumbed to it. I can't force anyone to do it.
And especially where you're at in your life right now. It's like if the student becomes a teacher too soon.
Oh, 100%. You know? Yeah, that's it.
But the best way to learn something is to learn one, do one, teach one.
All right.
So
I'll take that into consideration.
Eventually, you need to like.
I'm supposed to. Yes. I am supposed to.
I mean, you're supposed to do that with everything.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm at. I still have a lot to learn. Like, there's still plenty. But I think because I'm obsessed with completioning, like I want to complete the Bible challenge. I want to say, I know everything there is to know, but I can't possibly get there unless I went to Bible college or like dedicated my entire adult life to it. I just don't have time. But that's where I'm at. It's like a video game when you want to like achieve all the achievements. I'm like, I got all the Bible achievements, but I only got like 10%. Not even close. So, but it's fun to do this with you. I really hope that people are listening with their hearts open.
Yes.
You know, don't be afraid to just ask yourself, what if? If you took the time to open-mindedly, no predisposition about it, to just understand what it means to be, quote, saved and be a disciple of the Lord. If you just did that with your open heart and then at the end of it you're like, nah, oh well, that's your choice. And that might happen. And because everyone has free will. Yep. But I just genuinely don't think that if someone with an open heart and an open mind took the time to understand it in whatever way they want, maybe different for every person, like that you wouldn't say, oh, that's complete BS.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, if you come into it saying this is going to be complete BS,
then you're going to keep reading it.
You already made your mind up.
Yeah. Because that's what, like, again, Jesus was a huge question mark for me. But when I had my aha, big bang, come to Jesus moment, when I started reading the Bible, because I was fully ready to commit and accept, and I am just 0.01% into the knowledge of it. That's
only one achievement, but it's the best one. It's getting saved.
When I read the book now, I'm like, I have moments where I'll start crying, or it'll be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know. When you're fully ready to commit, come see us. I will help you in the beginning, but she's gonna be the explainer.
I just thought of the analogy. We're on a fishing boat. You are just flinging them in the boat with a net, and I'm catching them and throwing them in the cooler and sorting them out, gutting them.
Wait,
become fishers of men.
Yeah. Oh, my phone is recording. I just had a God wink.
What is that?
What
is the wink?
So you talked about Fisher and on the boat. Pastor Bill's message this past week was referencing something about the boat.
Well, Jesus has a couple moments where he's on the boat.
Yes, but that's weird.
Could be. Ting.
I'll have to put it in the description. It is. Look, you can make fun of me all you want.
I love it. It's a recurring segment.
Well, and it has been continuing to hit me, specifically with my mom. Like, I keep finding things and I'm like, okay, Mom, like, what are you trying to tell me? But yeah, I like that analogy because that's the first thing that I thought of was Jesus in the boat, and he started to like doze off, and then the storm came.
Yes, and he calmed the storm.
Yeah, but he was like frustrated.
Yeah, because they're all like panicking.
Yeah,
and he's just like, chill.
He's
fine.
so awesome.
But then there's these other. He gives a sermon on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and overloads the boat with fish.
Yeah.
And that's when he calls, I can't remember. Simon Peter and James, and so, son of so-and-so. They were brothers, and they were fishermen. Correct me in the comments. I can't remember which ones it is. And
it's going to bother me.
I want to say it was James and Peter, but either way, they were fishermen, and this is when Jesus is gathering his disciples, and they can't catch any fish, and they're fishing on the Sabbath or something, and they're not supposed to be fishing, And the story is so muddled in my brain. Christy will find it. And he goes and tells him to go fish one more time. Yeah. They're like, there's no fish out there. And he says, go fish. And they come back and they're like, their nets are so full, like they can't even get him in the boat because and he says, go and, follow me and be fishers of men.
Yes.
I feel like.
And now it's going to bother me because I want to find it.
Okay, we'll find it really quick.
We'll
cheat. I'll do a Google.
Yeah, because I don't have. Yeah, that was a good part of the Bible for sure.
Matthew 4:19. Let's see if I got them right. Simon Peter and Andrew. Dang
it.
Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. I got one of them right.
That's us. We're fishers of men.
Fishers of men.
And women too.
You know what? I think we need to add a little Bible trivia into our episodes. But not now. We're starting next week.
What?
Next week I'm gonna trivia you.
I have to tell you everything that I've read then.
No, you have a week to find the answer.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So I think we'll make it an easy one.
All right.
Next time I want you to name all 12 disciples.
Oh.
From your brain. No cheating.
Okay.
How many do you think you could do now?
Luke.
Yeah.
Matthew.
I don't think I could do them all. So
hold on. Luke, Matthew, John. No, John's the Baptist.
No, John the Baptist is not the same as John the disciple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Luke, Matthew, John.
The apostle.
Oh, Judah, who betrayed him.
Judas.
Yeah. Who betrayed him. So, no, that's it. But
there's like Thomas, Thaddeus, Simon Peter. There's like maybe 2 Jameses.
Oh.
There's 12. So.
All right. I knew there was 12. I just don't know them all. But
no cheating.
I
have to look them up too so I can see if you got it right.
She's got 30 years on me.
Leave them in the comments. Oh.
Yeah, tell me them now. But before we end, that made me think of a song that I want people to listen to. I'm not going to do this every episode, but it is like a song that is on repeat for me right now. So it's Phil Wickham.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday is Coming. Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Oh,
I gotta write that down.
You don't know that one?
I might. I don't know.
Sunday is Coming by Phil Wickham. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. I'm not going to lie.
Is it Wickham?
Maybe. Yeah.
But I say it Wickham.
WICKHAM, I think.
Oh. So are we allowed to play songs on our YouTube video?
We have to ask for rights to the songs.
Well, I was like, I could play it at the end. But...
No, I know. I think we have to.
Look it up yourself.
I think it'll get banned.
Google it.
But definitely listen to it.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Also, it's the first week of Advent. The best
Pastor
time of
Bill.
year. You know what I learned on Sunday?
Huh?
That Advent marks the beginning of the Christian year. So
really?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And Matt and I got to read the first Advent and light the first candle this past Sunday.
Nice.
And to do that with him was so
special.
Yeah. I am so thankful that he continues to go with me, and he's getting to a point now. I think he hasn't admitted it, and he might, but I think he's getting obsessed.
He's got the Jesus.
Yeah, he really likes Pastor Bill, and we're making friends at the church, and it just feels good. It just does. Because especially on days when we walk in there and we feel very heavy, we walk out of there very excited. At least I do, and I think he has too. But I could go on and on and on, but I have to go to the bathroom. I have to do a number 1, not a number 2.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Blooper pooper reel.
Yeah, but this has to be the end. So.
Oh yeah, we're just talking. So we should sign off, right?
Yeah, and with that,
remember,
stay salty.
Action.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Still a Little Salty. We hope you enjoyed hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Remember, it's okay to be a work in progress. We're all just trying to be the salt, adding goodness, truth, and a little bit of flavor along the way.
We'll see you next time. Until then, stay salty.